What's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ndifon Ntui. On this channel I make sewing tutorials. I post new videos on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for watching my videos. If you're a beginner or if you're a person who's brushing up on your skill, I offer online courses. I'll be showing a demo how to make a jumpsuit for you to watch so you can decide if it will be convenient for you to learn online. If you're interested, please send a Telegram message to the number that you can see on the screen. Alright, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much for supporting me, for liking my videos, sharing my videos, and all the other good things that you guys do for me. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video, but enjoy this video first. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the video. In this video I'm going to show you how to draft the dress that I've shown you on the thumbnail. So to begin, this is just a regular pencil dress. The only thing that it has going for it is the top part where we have the collar and then the top part of the bodice on only one side. So the first step we're going to need to take is to fold our pattern paper in half. Alright, so to begin, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place a line ½ inch after the top of my paper. This is going to serve as the allowance for joining both of my shoulders of the front and the back together. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up my vertical measurements. Vertical measurements are measurements that come from your shoulder going down like a dress length, your underbust length, and measurements like that. So what I'm going to do, keep my tape ½ inch, keep my tape on the ½ inch line, and then I'm going to first come to my underbust length. Underbust length I'm working with is 14, so I'm going to come to 14, make a mark at 14. From 14 I'll count 4 inches up to place my bust. This works for most sizes, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to, I'm going to make a mark at 2 inches after my underbust length, and I'm going to mark my hip. So I'm going to come to this point where I mark, this is my underbust length here at 14, this here is 16, 2 inches after your underbust, after this underbust length is 16. From here I'm going to come to 8 inches, and this is where I'm going to place my hip measurement. I'm using the entire fabric as my dress length. The dress length I'm using is 36. The length of this is a bit over 38, so I'm using the whole paper as my as the length of the dress. So I'm going to simply roll lines across this point. Okay, so after I've rolled line across all these points, simply do the same thing. Place your dress length and roll the line across it. So for me, dress length is 36. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place all the measurements that are supposed to fall across. So this is the bust line, under bust line. I'm going to ignore this line here, and I'm going to come here, and I'm going to place my hip measurements, and I'm going to tell you what to place at the bottom. So my bust is 36, 36 divided by 6 is 9. I'm going to place 9 here. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to place the under bust round. I'm going to use 30 for the under bust round. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. I'm going to place that here. I'm going to place the same thing at the half cut. I'm going to come to the hip measurement. So I'm going to use a hip of around 40 inches. So I'm going to place 40 divided by 4, 10. I'm going to place that here. And I'm going to subtract 2 inches from the 40, from the 10. So here was 10. I'm going to come down here and place 8. After that, I'm going to connect all my lines together. We've done that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my shoulder measurement. So the shoulder is 14 divided by 2, 7. I'm going to place that here. Right, and then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slope the shoulder by 1 inch. Then next thing I'm going to do is place my armhole. Formula for finding your armhole is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So 36 divided by 6 is 6 plus 1.5, 7.5. So after you have done all of this, the next step is you are going to come over here. Alright, you're going to come over here, and you're going to make a mark as 5.5 inches. Okay, if you're dealing with a person that's a bit taller or a person that's a bit bigger, you can bring that down to 6. Alright, for this measurement, this person here wears a medium, so from like a large, extra large, I would say you should bring that down a bit to 6. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to connect this line here to my armhole. I'm going to cut off the top parts. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my bust measurements, my bust point to bust point divided by 2 plus half an inch. So the bust point to bust point is 7 divided by 2, 3.5 plus half, 4. I'm going to place that 4 from up here all the way to the end of the dress. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is we need to create a dart. The reason why we drew this line in the middle is so that we can create the darts that would, hold and make the bust to form properly. So for the dart, what I'm going to do, first I'm going to mark ½ inch up here. See that? And on this other side, I'm going to mark 1 inch. Alright? I'm going to come under the bust. Here, I'm going to make a mark at 1.5. And I'm going to mark 1.5 from this point all the way down to the end of the dress. Now, the next thing is to keep our allowance to pay back for all of this that we have taken out. So, what I'm going to do here, we took out 1.5, half 1. So, I'm going to place 1.5 here. I'm going to come to the under bust. Here we took out 1.5. I'm going to place 1.5 from here all the way down to the end of the dress. So, after you've done that, the next step is to cut it out. Alright, so now when it's time for you to transfer this to your fabric, you simply put your fabric on the fold, place this pattern on top and cut, and it should come out like you see it here. It should come out double. It should not be in 2 pieces. The one that should be in 2 pieces is the side that you have over here, just like this is. The only modification that you will make when you are transferring this to your fabric is that when you are cutting on your fabric, add ½ inch at the top here and at the top here. Alright, so when it's time to transfer this to the fabric, all I'm going to do is over here I'm going to make a mark at 2.5, and here I'm going to make a mark at 2.5. That's neckline with a neckline that's 2.5, and make a curve around here. So you see, I'm getting close to the end, and it's a lot easier than it looks. From here, you should be able to tell what you are going to do next. The next thing we're going to do, if you are not sure, is you're going to just come 1 inch after here and make a mark, okay? And then we're going to make a mark from this 1 inch down to the middle over here. This is the part that's going to sit on top of the front. So you see that. Right, you just align the center with the center when you are stitching, and all is going to be well. You can see it already. The other side, center part, and this part. Now, when you are placing this part on your fabric to cut, the only difference that you will make to this is that you add ½ inch at the bottom here. So by the time you bend here in and attach here to here, it's going to sit just perfectly. So that's the only change that this will have, ½ inch under here, just like how this part had ½ inch on top. Alright, so now for the back, I'm going to draft the regular bodice. The only difference is that after I make a fold, I will draw a line of 2 inches to show a demarcation. Alright, so now after placing all the points, you can see it's a similar bodice. The only difference is this space I've kept before I started drafting. Okay, so regardless of where you see the line start from, all my measurements start from after this line down. Alright, so now next thing we're going to do is we're going to do something like what we did in the front. We're going to come to 6 inches this time at the back, make a mark. So if you have a bigger person, maybe you want to make that 7. And then the next thing we're going to do is we'll place our 4 from here down to where you have your half cut measurement. That's where you have the 16. That's the 4 is the bust point to bust point divided by 2 plus half. Now what you're going to do next is after you have ruled the line, you're going to come from this point here where you have this joining. Okay, so where I have this line, and you are going to draw a line from here down, and I want you to stop when you get to 12 inches. Sorry, 12 inches, and then when you are holding your dart, it's going to be a ½ inch dart. At this point here, your 16, this is where your dart will be at its fullest. Okay. So you start from nothing, open up to half at that point, and close back immediately. You see that? So this is where we're going to hold the dart. Now mind you, the other dart we had to use our scissors to cut it. On this one here, just on your fabric that you come to 16 and you hold ½ inch, go up smoothly, come down, taper down and stop at the 12 inches. Alright, so besides this, I'm going to simply place all my allowances at the side. I'm going to place 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. At this point here, I'll place 2.5 because of this 1 inch that we've taken here. 2.5, taper down to 1.5 all the way down. Then I'll cut it out. Okay, so let me do that. Alright, so after you've cut it out, like I said, with the front, you simply place this on top of your paper and cut on the fold. Make sure that when you're done, you divide here because the back is supposed to be in 2 separate pieces, in 2 pieces. So what you're going to do, the only difference that you would have between this and your fabric, that when you place it on your fabric, add ½ inch on top of here when you are cutting, so that by the time you join it to the top, everything will be fine. Let me show you what you do at the neck. Alright, so now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to place 2.5 for the width. Alright, and then for the depth, I'm going to come down by only ½ inch at this point. Now, the next thing I want you to do is this zipper allowance, I want you to collapse it at this point. Okay? Collapse it like so. Lay it flat. Then you're going to place the front on top of it, and you're going to simply just make your cut. Alright, so now this is the back that's going to match. This is the back that is going to match the front. Make sure to smoothen this part out, like so. Alright, so now this is the back that we're going to use, and this is the front. Alright, so now the last piece of this is just to cut the collar. I've already made videos on that before, so we can check out how to cut a shirt collar. But what you're going to do is you're going to cut only the first step. In the shirt collar that I have shown, there are two steps to the collar, to most of the collars that I have taught. There are 2 steps to the collar I have taught. There's the bottom part, that's the collar stand, and there's the collar on top that will be attached to that collar stand, so that you have that 2 levels of your collar. So for this, the only thing you're going to need to draft is just this step. You'll not need to draft the top one, and that will solve your issue. So I hope that this video was helpful. This video was requested by one of you a while ago, so I thought I start fulfilling all my I'll do it. Alright, so I hope that this helps you guys out, and I hope other people find it useful. If you watched this far, thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.